Hello, everybody. My name is Shannon Bowen. I'm the husband of Darla Bowen, and I hear that some of you might be doing this game plan training with Julie Senham. That's pretty awesome. Both me and Darla went through it, as well as most of our team. It's very, very rewarding in the end. Okay, it can be. I know it can be very strenuous at times. It can be challenging, but stick with it. Take it serious. And in the end, you're gonna be very happy you did. Anyway, Julie called and asked if I could do a video on a chapter for her. And it ends up being chapter 18. And that chapter is a Young Living Strategy Guide on where to sign new Oilers. Okay, so I'm going to cover most of it, some of the stuff in there with OGV and how much you need per leg to get to this rank, and that you guys can get that out of the book. I'm not going to waste your time on this video. Some of the things we're going to cover in the chapter are, some of the high points are, number one, always think 2 legs ahead. 2 is teaching proper ratios. And 3 is go wide before you go deep. Okay? And some of these, even though you're in a training and Sarah Hunters has her way of doing things, it's not the way you have to do it, okay? I agree with her on a lot of stuff. I agree with Julie on a lot of stuff. I agree with myself on a lot of stuff. Most all stuff. But anyway, just to prove to you that, there's no perfect way to do this business, okay? So, or no wrong way. So, just so you know that, if something doesn't really click with you or whatever, it's not saying that it's the right way. It's just kind of a guide for you something for you to follow, okay? So let's talk about the first one is always think 2 legs ahead. I remember going to a training 6-7 years ago now. It seems like yesterday, but Scott and Brenda Schuler came to Thief River Falls and did a training for us at a local hotel here. In the morning, they talked about business for like the first 3 hours. And then in the afternoon after lunch, they did just an educational class. But it was one of my first big events or whatever that I went with Darla too. It was kind of an eye-opener for me, the business part of it anyway. And one of the things Scott Schuler and Brenda talked about was building 2 legs. That was one of the things that really stuck with me. And they pretty much told us to build 2 legs until they're self-sufficient or they're healthy. Let's call them healthy. Healthy for me is an OGV of, let's say, 2,000, 2,500 is a healthy. And that's consistently per month is what what that leg is doing. Once you get those consistent and up to that level, then I would start thinking about 2 more legs. Okay? So let's just say you have a class and you have 10 people enroll, okay? And 3 of them want to do the business. Is it wrong to have 3 people as your legs? No, it's not. One thing is, when you're first starting out senior star or senior star, even up to executive, you start getting, in my opinion now, if you start getting, let's say 6-7 legs underneath you and all of a sudden they're all gung-ho and they want to get going on this business, you got a lot of work to do, okay? And they're all underneath you, so basically you got to take care of them and you got to help them. It's not a bad thing, but it can get very stressful. It can get chaotic to the point where you're going to get burnt out. And that's just my opinion. I think we walked into this business. It was we had Jerry and Wayne Nolan, and we had a couple other ones that took off right away with us. Very lucky to have them on our team, and we're still lucky today. So we kind of walked in and got a little bit of luck that way. So we kind of learned the business together as a team and taught classes and everything together. So we kind of grew up as a team together, which made it pretty easy for us. But I just think that keep it simple to start with, so you don't get burnt out and you don't get overwhelmed with, teaching classes. And granted, when you first start out, you're not expected to do all the teaching and do all the legwork and stuff like that. That's what your upline is for. And most of us will do anything, if you're on our team or Paula and Julie's team or whoever, and you're just thinking, well, God, I don't know if I'm good at this teaching. We will help you get into it, or your upline will help you until you're ready to teach and get going on it. Okay, so if that's one of your sticklers, and it was one of mine, is speaking in front of people, and that was one of my tough deals. It still is, even talking in front of this video camera and stuff. But so 2 legs, I get off and rants. Sorry about that, but so 2 legs at a time, I think is huge. So each rank, you just keep. Once you move up to and get those healthy legs, get another 2 legs started. In my opinion, that's the easiest way, and it's very duplicatable. It's very easy to do. Okay, so we keep talking about legs. I just put down here, what is a leg? What is a leg to you? To me, it's a business builder. It's somebody who's on Essential Rewards. It's somebody who's doing 100 PV. What does that mean? 100 PV, that basically in a nutshell is you're going to get 100% of the commissions that are possible to you at all times if you're doing that 100 PV a month. Okay? It's also, a leg to me is somebody who's a product of the product. I think that is so important in this business, because we don't sell stuff. I mean, you can sell it, but we don't. We educate. In order to educate, you have to really know the product. You have to use the product. You have to experience the product. And I think it's huge. I think it's really tough for somebody to just come in, enroll on a Monday and say, I'm doing the business Friday. I just think it would be really, really hard to sell somebody or to educate anybody on something and say that I've only been doing this for a week. So be a product, get to know the stuff, use it, get it on you, get some experience with it. That's going to be huge for you. That to me is a leg, okay? Somebody who's getting after it, okay? So as far as, so we're still on the 2 legs. What else? How about building legs? So that's a big question for a lot of people that are starting out, and probably by the time you get to senior star or executive, that's one of the things you're wondering is like, I heard about somebody placing people or moving people. It's kind of that's kind of a gamble to me. It's a lot of fun. Okay, it's a lot of fun building legs, but at the same time, it can be a little bit of work, and as far as placing people, it can be, like I say, a gamble. I'm just looking at my notes here. A lot of things, when we enroll people, so every time you enroll somebody, you should be the enroller and the sponsor to start with. Okay? You have 30 days, I think it's 5 days after you enroll them, you can call in by phone to Young Living and you can change the sponsor. You always want to remain the enroller. Okay, so you get the bonuses, the first 3 months of them bonuses. But if you want to change the sponsorship, if you want to build a leg, so I'll use Jerry and Wayne as an example. We enrolled somebody and we're building Jerry and Wayne's leg. They're one of our legs, so we want to get that up to the healthy status. One of the things we do is I like to do emails. I like to email Young Living and do the move that way. That way I have proof that I did it and I have an email I can go back to and look at, okay? And write this down. You might want to pause it and rewind it and come back again, but it's resolutions@youngliving.com, okay? So I'll give you an example of what my email says. My email says, I, Shannon Bone, number 1348118, that's my member number, would like to make Jerry and Wayne Nolan, number 1234567, the sponsor of Ginger Johnson, number 165432, and I will remain the enroller. That's all you have to send them, okay? Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes 2 weeks, sometimes it's a couple days. That will move that person from right underneath you, underneath like Jerry and Wayne, okay? So it's either going to be a new leg for them, or you can place it even further down, underneath, and Keegan is one of their legs. So you could move that, I could move that person underneath Keegan to help build that leg for them, okay? But all in turn, it's building everything underneath you anyway, so it's a win-win. And a lot of people will say, Jay, you should never put a business, if you know someone's going to build a business or get after the opportunity side of Young Living, you should keep them right underneath you so that you have another strong leg starting. You can do that too. I mean, there's not a wrong way to do it, but if you were to place somebody underneath one of your legs, however far down you place them, it's not a bad thing if they start doing the business, okay? It's still going to be a huge boost for you and for that leg of your business, your team. So it's not a bad thing if something like that happens. Hopefully that kind of makes sense for you. And sometimes you'll enroll somebody and you're like, oh my God, I'm pretty sure that Cindy was working with her, and it's okay to move that person underneath Cindy and call Cindy and say, you know what, I know you were working with her, and so I want to make this right or whatever. And that goes back, that's one thing I missed, is the communication part. Whenever we move somebody or switch sponsorship to somebody else, we always contact that person and let them know that we are going to be putting somebody underneath them. Ask them if there's a specific spot that they want that person to be before we do the move. You have to communicate so that eventually you want that sponsorship or that sponsor person to help out, okay, with the educational piece. If they take off with the business, the teaching, the follow-up calls. Follow-up calls are so huge in keeping in contact with your members. And let that other person know that you moved, that this is your sponsor and we're going to be your enroller and we're both here for you, and work as a team, okay? Building legs, I'm pretty much covering all that. I think the key is the communication part, okay? Keeping track of your legs, keeping track of where you need people, where you need more OGV, more maybe sometimes, you have somebody that's really getting after it and they're struggling a little bit, and they're going to be, just to give them a little shot in the arm or a little boost, I say, hey, you're working your butt off here. I'm going to change, give you sponsorship of this person, and hopefully that gives them just a little boost. Because there's, honest to God, in this business, there's some ups and there's some downs, and there's going to be times where you struggle. Okay, and there's going to be a lot more times where you're having a good time and it's a lot of fun. But get through those tough times, okay, and help your team get through them. Okay, that's the part of the communication again. I think communicating is huge. Another thing is that those care calls, and I'm pretty sure that's already covered in some of the other videos, but I think it's the key to your business is, keeping track of your members and making sure they got all their questions asked, answered or asked. And, a phone call is really huge. I think a lot of people like texting and stuff like that, but another thing with the phone calls is we get so many of those stupid calls. I don't know what they're called. Those. Anyway, so people don't answer the phone. So sometimes a little text message or a message on Facebook saying, hey, I'll be calling you tonight. You got 5 minutes? Just a little heads up that you're going to be calling so that they do answer the phone when they don't notice your number. Okay, see, there I go. I'm getting off on a little tangent. Again, be a product of the product. So let's get into teaching, the teaching ratios. Sarah Hunter says, and here's where I'm kind of with her, but I'm kind of not. Sarah says you should teach when you're senior star or senior star, you should be doing like 3-to-1 ratio. So 3 101 classes, which is a basic class you teach about the kit, to 1 specialty class like pets or, oils and babies, whatever. I think, with this here part of the chapter, I think the 101 classes are really, really huge. I think a person that enrolls after their first class or second class, whatever, their 101 classes, they can come to 3 or 4 101 classes and still learn something or a lot every time they come to a class. So I tell you what, and you know it as well as I do, them first classes are such a blur because you're learning so much stuff. You're trying to take notes and you're trying to take in everything. You don't get half of it. So I think the 101s are huge. It doesn't matter what level you're at, what rank you're at. She says once you hit silver, that should flip flop. It should be 1 101 to 3, specialty classes. I don't disagree with it, but I still think you need to fill your calendar with a lot of 101s. And you can even add in, even with those 101s, you can still add in a 15-minute pet segment at the end or whatever. But I think that in order to keep building, the 101s are going to build. I've always thought that 101s build your team, and the specialty classes build your OGV. Okay? So what I mean by that is specialty class is going to just open their eyes to more products, more options, more things that they can do with oils and makeups and all that stuff. So anyway, that's just my opinion on it. And the biggest key I just mentioned to you was filling your calendar. Okay. And there you go again. Some people are a little different than others. Some people are, 1 class a month is good. Some people are 2 classes a week. We want to do class, we want a class in Grand Forks. We want one at Thief River. We're going to get rolling on this. Just keep that in mind that everybody does this a little different at a different pace. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. The key is to just keep scheduling. Get some classes. Get people. Ask. Don't be afraid to ask people. Help me out. Will you host a class at your house? Get your friends over there. Pretty simple. As you're going to build your business. The last one she talked about was go wide before you go deep. Another one I sort of agree with, but I really don't. I think you can build deep as long as you want to build deep, as long as you're doing your, get them healthy to the 2,500 OGV level. Self-sustainable is key to that too. So you got to have a leader or 2 in that leg that are, getting after teaching classes and educating and don't be afraid to help them out every once in a while. Say, hey, I can come teach a class for you, stuff like that. But once they get there, then start building 2 more legs. And if you do have 5 legs or 5 people on your top 6 line or whatever, it's not wrong, okay? Just remember, everybody does it different. There's not a wrong way to do it. So if you ever ask yourself, I don't think I'm doing this right, you are doing it right as long as you're being consistent and you're getting after it. Okay, let's see what else I'm missing. 1 specialty class. Don't forget another thing is when you're doing these classes and teaching specialty classes and classes, don't forget about business meetings. If you can schedule with your leaders at least once a month, if it's a phone call or a Zoom call, or sit down with them over coffee, that's huge. Don't forget about your leaders. Make sure you take care of them as well. So, like I said, when all the smoke clears, I got in my notes, there's no wrong way to do this business. Some people get there faster than others. Be prepared for that, Some people you can light a fire under. Some people you can't. Okay, some people don't like to be pushed. Some do. So that's one thing with this business. You're going to learn how to deal with some people. Key to success, in my opinion, with Young Living, with the business, share daily and teach others how to share. Have your oils out in front of people. Use them in front of people. And teach that in your class and teach that to your leaders that, you know what, in order for people to open their eyes and ask you questions about them, it makes it pretty simple. You know, if you're putting some lemon in your water over dinner or something, put it back in your purse, guaranteed the rest of the people at the table are right then and there, they're thinking, what was that she just put in her water? You know, what is that good for? You don't even have to bring the conversation up, okay? Doesn't matter what you're doing. Let them bring up the conversation, then just spill your guts on them, okay? Get them to a class. So sharing, be a product of the product. We covered that already. I think that is very huge. Take the good with the bad. We covered that. You're going to have people that come up to you and say, you know what, those oils don't work. I don't think they work. They're snake oils. You know what? Don't let that get you down. Some people, it'll knock them down for 2 or 3 days before they even think about coming out of their shell again. Use that as motivation, okay? Push on. That same person that knocked you down, and we've seen this many times, they will come back and ask you about the oils and eventually enroll. So just let them sit there and be out there for a while, okay? Don't worry about them. Take pride in everything you do, okay? Just like me right now, I'm wearing Young Living. I'm always wearing Young Living. If people ask me questions on, what can I clean or shade, I'm not afraid to tell them what to do, okay? They might disagree with me or not think it's great, but wear it on your back, so to speak. Take care of your team. We covered that. Care calls, I think that's one of the biggest things with this business. It's so huge to get that communication line open. Darla is amazing at this. She does it weekly, almost daily. She's calling 2 or 3 people, and it's huge for your business. Okay, not only that, but you get to know some people, and that's another thing with this business. You're gonna find friends that you would have never met without being in Young Living, and it's pretty darn awesome. Keep educating your team. I think that's huge. You know, whether it's on Facebook or doing a Facebook Live, doing stuff like that, hosting classes, going to classes, supporting your team at classes, going to events, you know, like Super Saturday, things like that. Get your people there. It's huge. Same your team and help them change their lifestyle. I put down on here. You know, teach them how to change. Teach them how to get that bleach out of their laundry room, the laundry soap. Teach them how to do that stuff. You know, give them a sample. Let them try some stuff. Simple things. Schedule everything on your calendar. And I'm terrible at this, and I'll admit it. I don't even. My little calendar, this little thing right here, it doesn't have much in it. Okay, I'll be honest. But my wife Darla, she schedules everything. She schedules when she's going to call somebody. She schedules what she did, what she's going to do the next day. She schedules classes. It's all in her calendar. It's amazing how full her calendar is. And that is key too. I mean, I've said that before in this video, is keeping your calendar full. Also in your calendar, make sure in some of those little squares you put family time. Okay? Don't forget about your family. Get away from Young Living. Get out and enjoy your family every once in a while. Or just yourself. Go do something fun. Okay? You don't have to pound the pavement every day with this business for it to work. The last thing I have is Vital 180. Make sure you get on there. So Vital 180 has training in there, and I'm sure Julie will cover this with you. But so as you reach rank, so when you're a star, you get opened up to training for senior star. That's all you can go. So once you hit senior star, then you get training for executive. Once you get to executive, you get training for silver. Okay, it's awesome. It's not mind-boggling for you. It's at a slow pace, and it's very good. Get into Vital 180, get their stuff, and they have a lot of tools for you in there. Also, work as a team. If you can find somebody to run with, kind of like us and Jerry and Wayne, or even me and Darla. I mean, we've had a lot of fun doing it this way, and it's a lot less stressful, I think, at times. And sometimes it can be more stressful, but it's a lot more fun. And you know what? if you're doing something, it's like a job. If you have a job that you love and you think it's a blast, you have no problem going to every day, hey, it's going to be pretty easy to work with, okay? So have fun doing it. Find somebody to run with. It can be just a friend that you enrolled, and all of a sudden she's thinking about doing this. Have her come with. Have her help you. Have her help set up. Pretty soon she'll be teaching with you. Or your husband. My role in this business is completely different from Darla's at times. I take care of a lot of mailings and a lot of cooking at home and cleaning at home, and teaching classes. I go with her and teach classes. I don't mind doing that either. But know your roles, and if you can get with somebody, do it, because it's a lot more fun. It's very good to bounce things off each other too if you have somebody else. Last but not least, the ups and downs. I kind of covered that too, but you're gonna have, even like this training can be kind of a pain in the butt, right? Look at all the tabs we got in this thing. There can be a lot of things that are tough for you in this business, and there's going to be a lot of things that are very, very rewarding, like I said. But just stick with it. Stick with this training. Don't be afraid to lean on your upline. I know Sarah says something in there, but your upline doesn't owe you anything or this and that. But I tell you what, anybody on this team or Paula and Julie's team, we're here for you. Whether it's even a Crossline. Crossline is somebody you're on a totally different team. We're willing to help. Okay, so if you ever have a question for me, send me something on Facebook Messenger or give me a call at any time. I'd be glad to help you on any of this stuff. So I wish you guys luck on this training. I wish you luck in your business. You guys will get to silver very fast. Just follow the training and get after it. Make sure you fill your calendars and follow up with people. That's the most, and share. Of course, you got to share. But hope you enjoyed my 27-minute video. Julie told me I had to stay underneath 20, and I guess I overshot that. But hopefully you stuck with it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your training, and thank you very much.